Children, please rename like Sandhya, Mukesh, and all rename according your name. Okay. Because we cannot even. Who is that? This it's left already.
പിന്നെ പ്രോ മേലെ എന്നെ പോലും ആക്കത്തില്ല.
Stop this video or I'll rename him.
Rishikesh. Rishu. Last week, Ravand was absent, and who else were not there? Ravand.
Hariksha Mataji, last week I was having some work
because of Vyasa Puja celebration, no? Because of Vyasa Puja celebration or something else was there?
Yes, Mataji, I was having some work.
It was Ekadashi.
Ekadashi, because of that you skipped the class?
Let's start, Mataji. We can get started.
Hare Krishna, okay.
उपज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देव्य प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरसे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्मापि एकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा।
Hare Krishna.
So now Ganesh is ready for chanting.
Yes, Mataji.
All of us.
All, everybody should do. Everybody kindly switch on your video so that we can come to know that you are doing chanting. You kindly switch on your video.
Mataji, one round.
Yeah, one complete round. First Panchatattva mantra, then start chanting.
Yes. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
One round complete, Ganesh.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Muhammad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Ganesh and Pranav and Pratika. Very nicely done. Mataji, I will be needing another maybe 2 minutes to set up.
Yeah, no issue, Guruji.
Because my PowerPoint, right? I'm just setting up my PowerPoint.
Okay,
So
Guruji.
meanwhile, you can just come back in 2 minutes.
Okay. Anybody wish to do any soft kirtan or anything? Or anything you want to share or anything you want to ask? Who are absent last class, please let me know. I know some like Shitish was present half of the class. After that, where you went, Shitish?
What happened, Mataji? I didn't understand.
You were like last class, you were there?
Yeah, I was there.
Mataji, I have one doubt.
Yes, Pratika.
Mataji, when Srila Prabhupada was born, that time was Haridas Thakur still alive, or? Okay.
That I had to search. And Broji can.
Because
That
when
is long back, no?
started
Not, maybe
opening
no.
that,
No, because
then
he was not there.
and that it was like when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj took initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, that then before showing that already Srila Prabhupada was born. So I don't know. It is.
Haridas Thakur, you have to check for that. In the end of the class, we will let you know, okay?
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Arjun Broji. Broji is busy or what?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranam, Broji. Actually,
Pranam, Mataji.
yeah. Broji, Pritika asked one question, so you can answer that better, Broji.
Yes, Mataji. Actually, Haridas Thakura appearance was long back, but anyway, we'll confirm that definitely, and we will come back.
Okay, Broji.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry to keep you all waiting, but I have a nice presentation for all of you. So I was just trying to set up that presentation. All right. So let's see how this goes. If you can see my screen, give me a Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
As of now, it will be a white box.
Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, no, Prabhuji, I can just see only a white screen.
I just said it's a white box. You can see the white box, right?
Yeah, I can see a white.
Haribo.
I cannot see anything else.
Fantastic. As long as you see a white box, I'm good. Jai Ho. All right.
Prabhuji is
So-
trying to indicate that after the end of the class, we will become pure as this whiteboard after hearing this class.
Yes.
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Ho. So we'll start with a clean slate. Okay. So I'll just quickly chant some Mangalacharan prayers and we'll get started. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kam karoti vācāram bhagavātam jayate giri yat kripātamaham vande Shri Gurunti Parinam Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please.
Hare Krishna
Jai.
Prabhuji.
Jai Ho. So I'm able to see all of you as well. Some of you. Okay. Very good. Very good. Let us see if I can reduce your video panel. Okay. Haribol. All right. So today, is everyone ready, by the way? I can't hear many Haribols today. Everyone seems very down.
Haribo.
Haribo.
One, two, three. Haribol! Jai Ho. So today is a very interesting topic. This topic is so dear to my heart, and I'm very grateful to Amalarjan Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity to glorify on this topic. So I'm seeking all of your blessings so that I may be empowered to speak the right words, the right spirit. Hare Krishna. So today we are all going to embark on a wonderful journey. Are you all ready on this journey?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Jai
Prabhuji.
Ho. So we are going to go to this place. Any guesses which this place is?
New York.
New York.
Correct. Okay. So a cargo ship belonging to Scindia Shipping Company set sail from Calcutta to this destination. Right? And when that cargo ship arrived, it was a very bright, sunny afternoon on September the 19th. And this place is Boston Port, like many of you rightly said, in New York, in the United States of America. Very good. When this cargo ship arrived, the world was oblivious. It had no idea what was in store and what miracles was about to happen. The world will never be the same. In the Boston port, there was a pier. A pier is a place where a ship halts. And that pier was Commonwealth Pier. On this pier, that cargo ship of Cynthia Company, shipping company, arrived and halted. An unprecedented voyage of an extraordinary personality culminated on this Commonwealth Pier of Boston Port. This personality, donned with saffron robes, with 40 rupees in hand and 200 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, this personality embarked on a mission. What was his mission? To fulfill the desire of his spiritual master. Of course, this is the cargo ship. The cargo ship is titled Jaladuta. Right.
Jaladuta.
And Jaladuta means messenger of the sea. And this personality aboard the Jaladuta, the messenger of the sea, how iconic it is that a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is carrying the message of God. So the messenger of the sea is carrying the message of God along with his pure devotee. Amazing, isn't it? So this journey is already getting very, very thrilling. Now, an interesting plot twist here. Aboard this Jaladuta on this iconic voyage. So a ship journey is called a voyage. So on this transcendental voyage, this personality encounters 2 heart attacks. 2 heart attacks. Close to Janmashtami Day, especially. Painstaking voyage and struck with constant seasickness. Seasickness is the sickness when you get when the ship, because the waters are not calm, right? It's always wobbling the ship. That's when you get seasickness. You get intense nausea, weakness of the body, giddiness, all sorts of health ailments, right? And this personality was struck with heart attacks, not 1, but 2. He was struck with seasickness, a terrible state of health, and he was thinking he was about to die. Now, we all know who this wonderful transcendental personality is, right? Who is this personality? It is our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So today we are going to embark on this transcendental journey along with Srila Prabhupada on the Jaladuta. Are you all excited?
Haribo.
Jai, very good. So today's topic is, okay, before getting into the topic, what is the pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada?
Om
No. Not like this. Please raise your hands. Please raise your hands, everyone. We can relate in a civilized way, right? Very good. I think only Pranav and Pritika are civilized. Everyone else are not. Because I asked you to raise your hands, right? It's very important to behave properly also in the class. Very good. But I like your enthusiasm. You are right. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Itinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve, which means what?
Namaste Saraswati Devi meaning Prabhupada's Guru.
Yes, he is Guru Maharaj, the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very good. Gauravani Pracharine, which means the instructions of the on the instruction. Let me finish. On the instructions of the his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what did he do? Gauravani Pracharine. He wanted to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, which means by spreading the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, he eradicated or countered the principles or the atheistic philosophies of Mayavada, which is impersonalism, and Shunyavada, which is voidism. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Paschatya Deshatarine means what? Anybody?
Prabhuji, he shared
Western world.
in the other countries.
Western
So
world.
go to another country.
Paschatya means the
Western
other
countries.
Western world.
means the countries.
Correct. Paschatya means everybody knows. Paschatya means abroad, right?
Yes.
Paschatya Deshatarine means he delivered the foreign conditioned souls.
Tarine means
Even from,
to like.
correct, even abroad as well. So finally, Prabhupada has fulfilled the prophecy of Lord Chaitanya. What was that prophecy? Prithivite ache jata nagaradi gram sarvata prachara hoibe mora naam. So this was the amazing mission of this wonderful personality, Srila Prabhupada, to deliver the fallen conditioned souls of the entire world, not only in India, but everywhere else. Right. So today's topic is carrying Krishna's message to the West. Paschatya Desha Tarine. So how did this happen? Why was Prabhupada glorified in this way? Paschatya Desha Tarine. How did he embark on this mission? How did he set sail to the Western world with the message of Lord Sri Krishna? That is the amazing topic of discussion today. So this amazing journey starts. Hare Krishna. Can
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji, can any of the teachers spotlight me? Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, I've done it. Thank you. So, sorry, some of these are distracting my attention. All right. So, this amazing journey of Srila Prabhupada starts when he was known as Abhay Charan De. He was known as Abhay Charan De. Right. Abhay Charan De renounces his family life. Right. We all know the famous story. If you would have seen the Abhay Charan TV series, that was so beautifully portrayed by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Right. So amazing TV series. Right. So he renounces his householder life, and then he dedicates himself to preaching the message of Lord Sri Krishna and also to fulfill the instructions of his spiritual master. So he dedicates himself for serving his spiritual master and Lord Sri Krishna. How does Abhay Charan do that? Abhay Charan moves into Radha Damodar, Shri Radha Damodar temple at Vrindavan. So, what is the significance of Shri Radha Damodar temple? The samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami is also present there. In fact, if you see directly from the quarters of Srila Prabhupada, you can see Srila Rupa Goswami's samadhi there. Right. And what did Abhay Charan they do there? He was translating Bhagavad Gita. He was also publishing several articles of Back to Godhead, his fortnightly newsletter and magazine. And he was also preaching vigorously. And he was thinking, how can I spread the teachings of Lord Sri Krishna to the West? My spiritual master has instructed me to distribute this message of Godhead, message of Lord Sri Krishna into the English-speaking world. How can I fulfill that instruction of my Guru Maharaj? That is what Srila Prabhupada was constantly contemplating. And in due course of time, Srila Prabhupada establishes the League of Devotees. So in October of 1952, Abhay Charan De as he was known at that time, he began preaching Krishna consciousness in and around a place called Jhansi. So this place called Jhansi is around 150 miles to the west of Allahabad. Okay. So he was getting support of the local doctors and businessmen and such prominent personalities of the society. And he began an organization. The name of the organization was the League of Devotees. As we all can see, this is the registered office and the wonderful premises of the League of Devotees. This was dedicated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay. So what was the purpose of the League of Devotees? This was dedicated to spreading Krishna consciousness in India and abroad. So Prabhupada wanted to have this as his headquarters of his mission. However, somehow or the other, by some political influence or whatever, this organization was not able to sustain. So somehow or the other, by political influence, this land and organization also was taken away from Srila Prabhupada. So the organization failed as such. But Srila Prabhupada persevered. In our life, when we get huge insurmountable obstacles, oftentimes we have the tendency to give up. But Prabhupada had utmost faith and determination in the words of his spiritual master, in the teachings of Lord Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was never that person who was to give up. He never gave up. He was very determined and he persevered constantly, thinking, doesn't matter, even if this organization is taken away from me, how can I spread the instructions of Lord Sri Krishna? So finally, in pursuit of spiritual life, Srila Prabhupada renounces his family life as well and takes up the renounced order of spiritual life, which is also known as sannyas. So on September 17th, 1959, this personality prior to this, known as Abhay Charan De, now accepted sannyasa from His Holiness Bhakti Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, who is also a very senior sannyas disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Okay, and he accepts the order of sannyas on September 17th, and thus from Abhay Charan De, he became known as
Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami.
Abhay Charanarvind Swami.
Jai Ho. Yes. Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Yes. So this is the photograph that we can see when Prabhupada accepted the sannyas diksha. Right. So after he accepted the sannyas diksha, what happened? Sridhar Goswami Maharaj invited Prabhupada to stay for a while in the Gaudiya Math. And Prabhupada also stayed there for a short time, and he used to write articles for a magazine called The Harmonist, which was also a fortnightly magazine or a newsletter kind of a thing that was started by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the Gaudiya Math. And then later, somehow or the other, by will of providence, Prabhupada had to move out of the Gaudiya Matha, and by some odd circumstances, he was not able to sustain there. So he had to move out of Gaudiya Math, and what happened? He continued to spread Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada was traveling in and around Delhi, Vrindavan, Bombay, and many such places. So he was going on preaching programs, many such preaching missions, basically. He used to publish his own newspaper, fortnightly magazine called Back to Godhead. Right? Wonderful, wonderful title, very chosen, right? So Prabhupada was very clear why he named his magazine Back to Godhead. So he was spreading a a message to all the people of the world that by reading this particular newspaper, what benefit you will get? You will be liberated from the pangs of this material world and you will go back home, back to Godhead. That is the amazing transcendental benefit that you will derive by reading this newspaper. So that was the motive behind naming this newspaper that way. Going back home, back to Godhead is the primary duty of every human being. So he used to write and publish these newspapers. See, you can see here, so many struggles he used to undergo in the streets of Delhi. So Prabhupada used to travel from Vrindavan to Delhi by train, and then he used to walk from the railway station to the printing press. Sometimes he never used to eat anything because he never had anything with him. And the printing press, so the personality there, he used to ask Prabhupada that, have you eaten anything? And out from his own tiffin box, he used to share a little bit to Prabhupada. And then because he knew that Prabhupada was a Swamiji, he was a sannyasi, he was a Vaishnava, he used to also offer that tiffin box. And sometimes he used to ask his wife that Swamiji is coming today, so you please prepare some extra prasadam. So he used to offer it and bring prasadam, and he used to give breakfast prasadam to Prabhupada. So that way Prabhupada used to undergo severe hardships, such struggles we cannot even imagine. In the Delhi heat, the summer is almost like we all kind of have an experience because we are situated in the desert in Kanyadesh. But even here within Kanyadesh, we are sitting in the conforms of these four walls, right? We are having our own AC, our own sofa, cushion, everything. We are quite comfy in our situation. Really, we are blessed with so many things. We don't have any iota of gratitude in what comfortable situation we are, right now. We really need to be thankful to Krishna. We really need to be thankful to our parents for giving such a wonderful situation for us, giving us nice education, nice food, nice clothes, nice society, nice facilities, nice friends, right? Everything that we have is absolute nice, first class lifestyle. We don't have anything to complain about. The only thing we are complaining about is we are not expressing enough gratitude, right? So we should be very, very grateful. Anyway, back to the point. So Prabhupada was undergoing severe struggles. Some days, Prabhupada used to walk from the railway station to the printing press. He used to walk around 3-4 kilometers in the hot sun of Delhi summers. And sometimes he used to faint on the road because it was so hot. One time when Srila Prabhupada was carrying all the paper, so he was carrying the paper for the printing press, right? For printing all of these Back to Godhead magazines. One time when he was walking on the road, a bull, a huge bull, came out of nowhere in the middle of the road and started to chase Prabhupada and went over him. And nobody was there to help Prabhupada. Prabhupada had to help himself. Can you imagine a 60-year-old man in the heats, scorching heat in Delhi, all by himself in the middle of the road, all these papers scattered, and a bull just ran over him. He had to pick himself up, gather himself up, and then once again go to the printing press. Why? Why Prabhupada had to undergo all these struggles? Because he understood the importance of the instructions, following the instructions of his spiritual master. He understood and relished the transcendental message of Lord Sri Krishna. He understood the significance of all of these, and he wanted to express the gratitude, what transcendental knowledge he had obtained. He wanted to return the favor by spreading this message all around the world. And for that sake, he was ready to do anything. He was ready to go to any limit, stretch beyond any limit. For us, giving this excuse, that excuse, right? We give so many excuses. We are not able to come to Prahlad Gurukul. Every day the teachers are saying, please chant. Many of us are giving excuses, not chanting, not doing reading Srila Prabhupada books. Many excuses we are giving. After hearing this experience of Srila Prabhupada, are we still able to give excuses? Prabhupada is teaching by his own example. No excuses. Never give up. Always persevere. Right? Something very interesting happened. When Srila Prabhupada was distributing these magazines, one librarian met Srila Prabhupada. And that librarian gave suggestion that Srila Prabhupada, newspapers and magazines, everybody reads. And after reading, they will simply throw away. Or maybe they will use, in India, usually newspaper they will use for wrapping bhaji or something like that. Or they will put it on the shelf. Or all sorts of nonsense things newspapers are being used for. But that librarian was saying, you are working so hard to publish newspapers. And people are not giving importance to these newspapers, Baba. So Swamiji, what you should do is, you should write and publish books. Because when you publish books, right, then you will become a reputed author. And you will also get reputation. And people will give you respect for that. And when you give books to a person, especially an educated, scholarly person, then they will appreciate. Always books are appreciated in the educated world, in the literary society. Then Prabhupada thought, wow, this is a very wonderful idea, a very wonderful suggestion. Lord Sri Krishna, residing as Paramatma within the heart of that librarian, gave this specific instruction through him to Srila Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada took this instruction very seriously. And then he considered writing books. Books are the basis. Now, Srila Prabhupada considered Srimad Bhagavatam as the topmost Vaishnava literature. Why? It is written here. Somebody wants to read this?
I'll read.
Yes, Pranav.
There is no
Yes, Pranav. Go ahead.
throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no comparison. There is no competition. Every word is for the good of human society. Somehow or other, if a book goes in someone's hand, he will be benefited. Therefore, we are stressing so much. Please distribute books, distribute books, distribute books. By His grace, His divine grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare
Jai. So now we understand the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no comparison, Prabhupada says here, isn't it? There is no comparison. There is no literature throughout the universe like Srimad Bhagavatam. Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuto yatha, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Puranam idam tatha. In the Bhagavatam it is stated that Puranam idam tatha, out of all the Puranas, the highest is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. So this glorious literature, Srila Prabhupada embarked on a monumental, like a Herculean task. Can you imagine 18,000 verses giving authorized, authentic, bona fide translation and purport and word-to-word meaning of every single word for 18,000 verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam? It is an impossible task. Sometimes when the teachers give homework, writing down the notes itself, our head breaks, our hand pains, right? Isn't it true? Writing one small assignment itself, we feel so much pain and struggle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Prabhupada was embarking on such a huge task, and Prabhupada wanted to write an English translation and commentary. Why? That was the desire of his spiritual master. So Prabhupada was thinking, an English translation and commentary could, for Srimad Bhagavatam specifically, could one day change the hearts of the entire world. And if he could publish even a few books, his preaching would be enhanced, right? Because usually authors are respected in the scholarly society. So he could go abroad with confidence by this regained reputation and authority. And therefore, when he appeared, when he would embark on this a wonderful voyage to the Western world, he would not come empty-handed. He would have some authoritative literature with him. So Srila Prabhupada embarked on this journey, right? So this is the Prabhupada's room at Sri Radha Damodar Mandir in Vrindavan. So while residing in the holy city of Vrindavan, Bhaktivedanta Swami immersed himself in his work of translating and writing commentary, bona fide authorized commentary based on the teachings of the previous acharyas. But all of us know writing was only half the battle. After writing the entire manuscript, he had to publish the book, right? Now, for publishing the book, once again, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada had to undergo so much struggle. So much struggle. It is not an easy thing to publish a book. It's very, very difficult. So challenging. Prabhupada had to shoulder all the responsibility of publishing. Like he had to write the book first of all. He had to raise funds for publishing the book. And he had to print the books himself. And he also had to sell the books also himself. Can you imagine? A to Z himself, he alone had the ripe age of 60 plus years. He had to do all of this himself. Usually at 60 years old and above, at old age specifically, people go to Vrindavan to retire, right? Most of us have seen our grandparents. When they retire, they usually are sitting at the home. They're doing their own whatever religious or spiritual practices, and they are relaxed. Not much of activity. But Prabhupada actually started to take up Herculean tasks, unprecedented. Nobody has ever heard before that such tasks were being done, and that too at this age. So Prabhupada was taking up all of these activities, right? Raising funds, printing books, and getting them sold also. So Prabhupada used to move back and forth between Vrindavan and Delhi again and again, just like we saw how he was going for Back to Godhead magazines. So similarly, he used to go back and forth from Vrindavan and Delhi and other places, and he used to somehow or the other collect funds from well-wishers and friends and such, and he used to write these manuscripts, right? And then somehow or the other, for the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he wanted to publish 3 volumes. First canto split into 3 volumes. So Prabhupada somehow or the other managed to write 2 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was aspiring to present the entire Srimad Bhagavatam in 60 volumes. Can you imagine? Huge collection of 60 volume manuscript, right? But somehow or the other, he was able to manage completion of 2 volumes of the first canto. So the third volume of the first canto was pending, right? So after publishing 2 volumes, to raise the funds for the third volume, Bhaktivedanta Swami decided to try Bombay, because Bombay was the financial hub, and Bombay was a very happening place in India. Bombay is now known as Mumbai in India, but at that time it was known as Bombay. So he traveled there in July, and he stayed in a place called Prem Kutir Dharmashala. A Dharmashala is basically like a ashram where you get free boarding and lodging, especially for sadhus. So Prabhupada traveled there to Prem Kutir Dharmashala in Bombay, and he made his books available. He used to travel to well-known institutions, societies, rich mercantile class, and all such scholars and such. And he used to present the Srimad Bhagavatam, that I wrote these first 2 cantos. Please somehow or the other assist me in publishing the third volume of the first canto. He used to visit booksellers and book publishers also, that I have written this book, please, it's very authoritative. Kindly distribute these books, sell these books from your bookstores. Now, he also made advertisements and pamphlets and such, and he used to distribute in canvas. Now, one question to all of you. Who is this personality who is, we all know this is Srila Prabhupada, right? Who is this personality?
Prabhuji,
Lal
maybe
Bahadur
Jayan.
Shastri.
Sorry?
Lal Bahadur Shastri.
Right, very good. Rishikesh, that's you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good, fantastic. So who is Lal Bahadur Shastri?
Prime Minister of India.
Yes, he is the Prime Minister of India. I'm very happy at least some of you know. See, by coming to Prahlad Gurukul classes, you can even get general knowledge about India, right? Okay, so Prabhupada, see, you can see this volume of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So he was showing this volume of Srimad Bhagavatam to Lal Bahadur Shastri, the Prime Minister of India. So Prabhupada was meeting many, many influential people. Like that, he met even the Prime Minister, and he showed that, I have written this authoritative uh, uh, translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Volume 1 and Volume 2, first canto, and please assist me in creating the future volumes as well. Then he showed his advertisement, he showed the Srimad Bhagavatam and all of that. Lal Bahadur Shastri, the Prime Minister, loved Prabhupada's version of Srimad Bhagavatam, absolutely loved it and appreciated it, and said that, who wants to read this? Neha, yes, Neha, please read it.
Yes, Prabhuji. I am indeed grateful to you for presenting a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam to me. I do realize that you are doing valuable work. It would be a good idea if the libraries in the government institutions purchase copies of this book.
Yes. So Lal Bahadur Shastri, the Prime Minister, gave instruction to all the government libraries and institutions that you need to purchase 50 volumes, 50 copies of Srila Prabhupada's books. And Lal Bahadur Shastri also said, whatever this man writes, all government libraries should have one copy of this in all government libraries. So somehow or the other, Prabhupada was getting little success, but he was getting very small orders, which was not very, which is not sufficient basically to go in full-fledged manner to publish this entire Srimad Bhagavatam set. So somehow or the other, he decided that he will meet this lady. Who is this? Her name is Sumati Moraji.
Sumati Moraji.
Yes. She is the head of the Scindia Steamship Company. So he had heard from his god brothers in Bombay that she was very well known for helping out all the sadhus and saintly persons and such. And she also had donated, and she was also very supportive for charitable causes, especially within the Bombay Gaudiya Mutt and such like that. So Prabhupada thought that, okay, because she is a well-wisher to the Vaishnavas, I will approach her for this Herculean task of publishing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I will seek her assistance. So Prabhupada had never met her before, but somehow or the other he tries that, okay, let me meet this person. So somehow or the other in 1958, once Sumati Moraji had made a promise that one of her officers made a promise actually that I will arrange for any sadhu to go to America. So his journey and his fare ticket and everything, I will take care. Like that, one of her officers gave promise to the Vaishnavas. Now, Prabhupada thought, what a wonderful opportunity. So then Prabhupada, okay,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Having some network problem.
Prabhuji, you are stuck.
Yeah, facing some internet problem.
Yeah, I think some network issue.
Prabhuji got disconnected.
Let me give him a call and check. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay, there is some internet outage at Visvakalyana Prabhuji's house. So we'll just do a short kirtan. So we will sing one small soft kirtan. So you can, all of you unmute yourself. Or if you don't want to unmute also, no problem. You can just hear. I will just sing a soft kirtan now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji has come. Okay, I'll finish up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please carry on.
Hare Krishna. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Just a minute. Let me set this up. I will spotlight myself. All right. All right. Apologies for the technical interruption. All right. So where were we? So finally, Srila Prabhupada wanted to approach Sumati Muraji for getting some assistance for publishing the forthcoming volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's hear from Sumati Muraji herself. Are you all ready?
Yes,
I
Prabhuji.
mean,
Yes,
this
Prabhuji,
video
Hari
will
Bol.
this video will transform your heart. Please listen very carefully.
I only met when there was a function in some, religious function in Kurukshetra. There was a very big, people had come for bath and taking bath and all that. And I had gone there, with me 2-3 people were there.
Prabhuji, it's stuck.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Huh? Nothing. You should say mate. What? What?
Prabhuji, are you there or is there an internet problem again?
Prabhuji, I don't think Visvakalyana Prabhuji is here in the meeting.
Oh, okay. Today the network is creating a lot of stress on all of us, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Such a good class is going on. Okay, let's wait. Let's see. See, material world is like that. When all the good things happen, we will have all obstacles. So, but we should not give up the spirit. This is what life teaches us all the time. And with Krishna consciousness, we tend to appreciate these things better in life. Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, please.
True, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, today in between Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Neha was asking me a question, Prabhuji, today.
What was that?
Wanted to because I want you also to explain to her. The
Yes.
question was, Mataji, since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an avatar of the Supreme Lord himself, his name should also be there in Dashavatar, right? This is what her question was.
Yeah.
So,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called the Channa avatar. Channa avatar means hidden avatar. And this hidden avatar is only for great people who are transcendently in a better platform. Only they get the opportunity to know about him. So he's like a secret avatar, not available for everybody. It's like diamond is not available for the people on the road. It's only available for people who have that purchasing power. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in our lives only if we have done some austerity in our previous Janma or in the current Janma. So that's why he's called as a Channa avatar. Okay, Prabhuji has come back. We will continue this at the end of the class. Okay.
Okay,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Looks like some interesting discussion is going on. We'll definitely take it up. All right. So we were looking at the video of Sumati Moraji. We'll continue from there.
About half an hour or so. At that time, I don't think he had become a sadhu or sannyasi. He was just... Then he said, no, my family is in Calcutta. But I had come for this function here to have bath. That way we talked for some time. And then he said, suppose I want to meet you. I gave him my card. Choksi, you knew, no? My office fellow. He was with me. So Choksi was somewhere. I called him. I said, Choksi, come. Then he gave me my card, his card and all that. And you come to Sindhya House. if you want to talk to her. After that he came to Sindhya one evening very late, till later. I was still in the office doing some work. Then I got up and wanted to, come home. It must be about 7 o'clock. It was quite dark. There was nobody, office being office, and 7 nobody was there. So Choksi was sitting there on his table. So I asked him, I said, Choksi, who is again sitting with you? Because Choksi was sitting on his table. And Swamiji was sitting like this, what I am sitting. And Choksi was at the back.
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji, your lag.
Prabhuji,
the video went on lagging.
It's lagging, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, the
Prabhuji, you're muted.
You're muted, Prabhuji, you're muted.
I know everyone, I know. Okay, I'll turn off my video so that you all can see the presentation.
To me. He said, no, I would like to meet her. And then only I will go, I will talk to her. So I went there, I said, excuse Swamiji, kya kaam hai? Then he showed me Bhagavad. He said, I have heard your name and we have met in Kurukshetra, if you remember. I want to get this book printed. I said, you can come tomorrow. Because when there are some people and daylight, and also, at this time, it is really getting darker. So Choksi is alone. So he said, yes, I'll come. Then I asked Choksi, because my secretary was there. So he typed out a letter to one or two friends. They are no more now. So telling them that why don't you do something about this gentleman? He is written Bhagavad and I would like you to help him. And I am going to do this much. I wrote that letter and gave him. He went and then I went home. After a day he came and he said, now I am going to back to Vrindavan. I said, why are you going? He said, my work is done. Now I will try to see how I can get it printed. I only met when there was a function in some, religious function in Kurukshetra. There was a very big, people had come for bath and taking bath and all that. And I had gone there, with me 2-3 people were there, but they were not interested.
Okay, so this video is repeating. So anyway, what we saw that Sumati Moraji met Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was waiting outside, and Mr. Choksi somehow or the other convinced Sumati Moraji, and Mr. Sumati Moraji met Srila Prabhupada next day and somehow or the other made arrangements. They typed out a letter and sent it to all her friends, and she was able to secure some funding for Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. And somehow or the other, with Mrs. Moraji's guarantee, Prabhupada was able to secure some commitment, some funds and support to finish Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada returned to Vrindavan and to finish writing the manuscript for the 3rd volume. So of course, when Prabhupada being Prabhupada, he was so determined and he had such a rigorous schedule and he was so committed to finishing Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? He was so committed to finishing Srimad Bhagavatam on a timely basis, and he had a demanding schedule to finish writing. And then finally he finished the 3rd volume also for the 1st canto. Then with the supply of this impressive literature, right? These three manuscripts of the 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, he decided, okay, now it's time to go to the West. Then once again, so all the manuscript was ready. He gathered purchased the paper, he did the proofreading, and he also kept the printing press on schedule and things like that. He was managing all of these things and ensured that by January of 1965, all the 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam were printed. So this is the journey of Srila Prabhupada, who started from absolute scratch, from zero, had no money. He was an old man, and at this juncture, people usually consider old people as irrelevant to the society. But Srila Prabhupada embarked on this monumental journey to publish his hardbound volumes, 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. So all of this was done within a short span of 2 years, just 2 years. So by Krishna's grace, 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam were on hand. So towards the left hand side of your screen, you will see Srila Prabhupada sitting in Radha Damodar Mandir along with his 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. And after publishing this, he was getting a lot of reputation within the scholarly and literary circles. And finally, he was very, very convinced that it's time to go to the West. And now he had full vision, full focus that now it's time to set sail. He was 68 years old and he had to go very soon to the Western world, because he was old age and he knew that time was of significant importance for him. So it was of almost 40 years ago that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave the instruction to go to the Western world and preach the message of Lord Sri Krishna. At the beginning stages, especially, Abhay Sharan, as he was called at that time, thought that this was impossible. I am an ordinary personality. How will I be able to fulfill this instruction of my Guru Maharaj? However, he had utmost faith in the words of the spiritual master. Whenever there is an instruction from superior authority, like spiritual master or acharyas or Lord Sri Krishna himself, those instructions come with special mercy also to fulfill those instructions. So with instruction, you are also empowered to fulfill that instruction. So that way, Prabhupada had utmost faith and conviction in the words of his spiritual master, and he published this monumental manuscript of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is one more picture of the original version of Srimad Bhagavatam, right, which Prabhupada had written during those times. These were the same Srimad Bhagavatam copies that Srila Prabhupada took with him in Jaladuta. The first page reads like this, that Srimad Bhagavatam first part, with short life sketch of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the ideal preacher of Bhagavad Dharma. We saw, right? Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini. Yes. Ideal preacher of Bhagavad Dharma, original Sanskrit text, it's a Roman transliteration, English synonyms, English translation, and elaborate purport. Right? This was published on behalf of the League of Devotees at that point of time. Now it is being published on Bhaktivedanta Booktrust. Okay, so this is the leaflet with an inside. So you can see the printing press, Kanshiramji in Delhi, and he dedicated this to his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, on the 26th annual ceremony of his disappearance day. This comes in January, I believe. Yeah. So finally, with 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada had his vision in the Western world. Paschatya Desha Tarine. How will I take this Sarvata Prachara Hoibe Mura Naam? How will I spread the message of Lord Sri Chaitanya in the Western world? Then Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami met Mr. Agarwal. So he was a Mathura businessman, and that businessman, Mr. Agarwal, mentioned casually that, if at all he wanted to come to America, I will sponsor you. Don't worry. Then Bhaktivedanta Swami, Mr. Agarwal just met Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada at that time, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes hardly. But Prabhupada thought that this was an instruction coming directly from Krishna. And then immediately said, "Oh, you want to sponsor me? Yes, I am ready. Please sponsor." Then Mr. Agarwal was also very happy about it. He wrote a letter to his son in United States, US. His name was Gopal Agarwal. So his son Gopal was living in Pennsylvania state. He was an engineer by profession, and he wrote a letter that, oh, there is a Swamiji here and I want to sponsor him. Please send me a sponsorship letter and make all arrangements in Pennsylvania. So then after some months passed, yes.
Prabhuji, Gopal Agarwal, is it Gopal S. Agarwal from ISKCON Pune?
No, it's different.
Okay, Prabhuji, because I heard that name, that's why I asked.
Okay. Gopal Agarwal, Gopal S. Agarwal is the name, might be the same name, but I don't know if it's the same person from Pune. I don't think so, because this was quite long back.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, where were we? So finally, after a long hardships, he gets the sponsorship from US, and after getting the sponsorship, he applied for his passport, he applied for his visa, he applied for his no objection certificate and all of that. And even within India, he had a lot of trouble. The government and the State Bank of India, at that time, you had to apply from the State Bank of India for no objection certificate, that you didn't have any loans and all that. So you were in a good financial situation. So Prabhupada had a lot of struggle with the Indian government. You know how these government offices are and the paperwork, right? So finally, he had all the paperwork arranged. And let's hear from Sumati Muraji.
Then one day he came to office and he said, "I want to go to America." I said, "Are you crazy? Why do you want to go there? What will you do? You know, American government, sometimes they are very funny. They'll send you back. So once, it goes on record that you are sent back, then they won't let you in. Why do you want to go?" And at that time, no, so many people were not going to America. Now it is quite different. Yeah. So I said, "Why do you want to go? Kya karega?" He used to say, "Arey buddha mar jayega khali." So he won't listen.
What does it mean?
I meant the old man, you are going to die like this, there. Who will look after you? What will you do then? So he said, "Kya karu? Jana. I said, "All right, I'll make this arrangement. Then you go." So when the arrangement was made, he was in Bombay. I made all this arrangement with the captain, and the ship went to load some ports. His wife also went. Then they came back. At that time, our other ship dropped him. I think he went from Calcutta. So the other ship went and dropped him there. And then he went by that ship.
Right? So Mrs. Sumati Muraji is saying the story, how Jaladuta was picking up some cargo from other places and was beginning its voyage from Calcutta. And Prabhupada was there in Bombay. So somehow or the other, she made all arrangements for Prabhupada. Right? Mrs. Sumati Muraji was like a daughter to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was very loving and affectionate towards her. Right? And you can see that relationship between them. Mrs. Sumati Muraji understood that he was a Vaishnava and he was an old man as well, a fatherly figure to her. So she ensured that the captain was a vegetarian and sufficient food and all accommodations were as per Prabhupada's liking and for his comfort. So that way she made all arrangements for Srila Prabhupada. Bonus points to somebody who will tell me what is the name of the captain. What is the name of the captain of Jaladuta?
Prabhuji, Jaladutya.
That is the name of the ship. What is the name of the captain? Captain Pandya.
Arun Pandya.
Yes, Jai, Captain Arun Pandya. Yes. So he was very Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. So Captain Arun Pandya, he was very helpful to Prabhupada. He, when Prabhupada was in Bombay, he bought. So there was a society, Scindia Society, where all the staff quarters were there. So one of the empty apartments was given to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was staying there, and all the staff of this India shipping company, they used to come give food grains, fruit, vegetables, all sorts of things to Srila Prabhupada. And once what happened, Prabhupada was saying that everybody are giving so much food items. What should I do? Then Captain Pandya said, you distribute as prasadam. So Prabhupada distributed all the excess as prasadam to all the staff, and the staff were very loving and affectionate. Wherever Prabhupada had this wonderful quality, wherever he used to go, all the people used to surround him and absolutely love him, and shower their love to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada also used to reciprocate with everybody and shower his amazing transcendental mercy upon all of them. And wherever Prabhupada went, everybody used to love him. So that way, everybody had nice time with Prabhupada there. And Captain Pandya also arranged for many shawls and sweaters and such that, America he knew was a very cold place. So he bought many such, not Captain Pandya, sorry. It was Choksi, the secretary of Mrs. Muraji, who made all these arrangements. And he bought all the winter wear and such. He made some arrangements for Srila Prabhupada.
Then one day he came
right?
to office.
So here you see the ticket towards the left-hand side for Jaladuta from Scindia Steam Navigation Company. And towards the right-hand side, you see the passport and visa of Srila Prabhupada. This is in a notice board in ISKCON Vrindavan. Even now, if you want, you can go and visit there and see. Maybe after lockdown, when we have an opportunity, we'll go and visit this place.
Prabhuji,
Right?
where it is displayed?
ISKCON Vrindavan. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Now let's hear further.
I talked with the Swamiji also on telephone. So he said, no, I'm quite all right, but I am very seasick. So I was talking to this captain and all that. Said, tell me, little mother, that I am going to die now. He was very much seasick. So he was not feeling comfortable.
So this incident is after embarking on the voyage from Jaladuta. Jaladuta starts from Calcutta, and Prabhupada there was alone on the docks of Calcutta port. So Prabhupada was born and brought up in Calcutta, but still when he was a sannyasi and he visited Calcutta during those days, not a single soul was ready to help Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada writes a beautiful poem, Vrindavane Bhajan, I think. And in the end, there is one small paragraph. He writes, all that is left is a list of names. Isn't it true? We all come here. We say parents, teachers, friends, this, that. We have all sorts of a big list of people we know and all sorts of relationships. But when one person leaves this body, that entire relationships simply ends up as a list of names. Prabhupada was writing the last stanza, last paragraph of that poem. And he was reflecting. So who helped Prabhupada in Calcutta at that time? Just one passerby, in the sense one acquaintance of Srila Prabhupada, who just was a very favorable kirtaniya. He was a very nice kirtaniya. And Prabhupada said, actually, I am going to America and I have to, travel aboard the Jaladuta from Calcutta. So can I stay for a few days with you? And he said, very good. Please come to my house. And then a stranger's house. Prabhupada had to stay there for a couple of days. And they had some Bhagavad Katha and some Kirtan and things like that. And finally, that gentleman sees Prabhupada off Jaladuta, right, on the docks. And once the Jaladuta starts, we all know the story. Jaladuta starts there, and on August 20th, August, I think 13th or 14th, it starts from Calcutta. And on August 20th, it from Calcutta, it goes around Cochin, sorry, what is that, Sri Lanka port. And then from Sri Lanka, Colombo, it comes there to Cochin, like this, around India. And then from Cochin, it arrives on August 20th. There, Srimad Bhagavatam was loaded on. All these Srimad Bhagavatam sets we saw, right? How Prabhupada put so much effort and struggle to publish. All of these Bhagavatam sets were loaded on from Cochin onto the Jaladuta, and then Jaladuta embarks westward towards United States. And on this journey, especially when passing the Suez Canal, right? That is in Egypt. Prabhupada encounters two heart attacks, and this was the pastime narrated by Mrs. Sumati Maraji.
So he phoned me also. I said, "Arey, you are not going to die, don't worry. Seasickness doesn't kill anybody." Then he was not feeling very comfortable because the sea is not very good on that side, little rough. So then when he reached New York, that captain phoned me. Okay, we have reached, and I talked to Swamiji. He said yes.
So like that, Mrs. Sumati Maraji was so kind. All the time she was checking on Prabhupada if he's okay, he's okay. She was reassuring Prabhupada that, you will be reaching there, you will be all right, no problem. Like a daughter telling his father, right? So lovingly, affectionately taking care of Prabhupada. And she was also instructing Captain Pandya to ensure that everything was accordingly to the facility or to the comfort of Srila Prabhupada. That way, when Srila Prabhupada arrives in Boston port, we all saw that Boston port, right, in the beginning slide.
I talked with the Swamiji also on telephone. So he said, "No, I'm quite all right, but I am very seasick." So I was talking to this captain and all that. Said, "Tell me, little mother, that I am going to die now." He was very.
So finally, Prabhupada lands in the Boston port. But during the journey, when Prabhupada encounters these heart strokes, right, heart attacks, he writes a beautiful Bengali poem. It's called Markine Bhagavata Dharma. This is a screenshot of the original manuscript, that poem that Prabhupada wrote, right, on the Jaladuta, see, on Jaladuta. And then on his Jaladuta diaries, Prabhupada was journaling his entire voyage. And on 31st of August, Prabhupada writes, "Passed over great austerities, the struggle for life and death." So, what Prabhupada writes? This statement has to be written like that. So anyway, so Prabhupada writes, he himself has journaled that, he has passed over this great struggle for existence of life and death. So imagine if Prabhupada himself is writing in the journal, how painful it must have been. So finally, Srila Prabhupada and Jaladuta carrying aboard Srimad Bhagavatam arrive on the Commonwealth Pier at Boston Port, New York. This is the, so we saw, right, how Mr. Gopal Agarwal, he was sponsoring Srila Prabhupada. And then finally, he made arrangement by bus, if I remember correctly, for Srila Prabhupada to go from Boston Port to Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania. And this is the pastime narrated by here. So this is in Butler, Pennsylvania.
The Swami was a friend of my husband's father, Mr. Agarwal, in Agra, India. And he asked me to sponsor the Swami, and that's what I did.
We didn't really think anything would come of agreeing to this proposition. I called my husband at work and I said, Gopal, honey, sit down. We just got a letter and that Swami is going to come to Boston in 4 days.
The Swami came with so few possessions. He came with the clothes he had on his back. He had a typewriter and he had his books. And he had a bag of cereal. Imagine coming to a country on the other side of the world with so little.
For his first night in America, he slept on the couch. Next morning, the children came downstairs and they were in shock, looking at this scary man with orange cloths on him. He loved the children. He played with them, and I could see it was a true love for them, not just fake stuff. Kamla, the older kid, she called him Swami Jesus because we call him Swamiji. We thought that was so funny. He was a lot of fun, too. He would go shopping with me at the supermarket. He loved walking through the aisles. And of course, the people stared at him. Every day at 9 o'clock, he would begin to prepare his lunch. It only took me one time to realize that we would like that lunch too. So the kind man he prepared our lunch every single day.
Although it was a small county, I was very much in Gladden. There were so many churches, and I spoke in many of the churches there.
Lord Jesus Christ, He is the best Son of God. We have all respect for Him. Yes. It does not matter in which country and which atmosphere you are preaching.
Jesus Christ is a devotee. So one has to associate with the devotee before realizing it. But it is not that God has got only one devotee. If God is unlimited, He has unlimited devotees.
He stayed with us for a month in Butler. And I learned, over the time, I learned to love him as I would a father-in-law. I enjoyed my association for that 1 month with him about as much as I've enjoyed anything in my life.
I was just so sad to see him go. See, his Swami, he gave him the job, he told me, of taking the holy book, the Bhagavad Gita, something, I can't pronounce it, translate it into English for the English-speaking world. He was going to New York. It was going to be winter. It was going to, cold weather was blowing already. And I thought, oh, that man, he doesn't have a coat. Nothing to protect him from the weather. He was going on an overnight bus. I'd be scared to go to New York myself. I remember I just could hardly say goodbye to the man. I felt so bad, I cried.
That's the touching story of Sally Agarwal, how Prabhupada ends up in Butler, Pennsylvania, and how his first few weeks were in the US. Prabhupada had this charismatic presence. Wherever he went, people absolutely loved him because he never went alone. He was carrying Krishna within his heart. That's why people were very, very attracted to him. And whenever Prabhupada used to go away from a place, people were broken in shambles because they couldn't tolerate the separation from Srila Prabhupada. This is the first news report or news conversation by Srila Prabhupada. The first interview.
I came here in America in September 1965. My mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This transcendental vibration will cleanse the dirty things of the mind. It doesn't matter what he is. This transcendental vibration is equally appealing to everyone without any question of language, nationality, creed or caste, because it is coming forth from the depth of the soul.
This was the purpose, the prime purpose, why Srila Prabhupada embarked on this wonderful, miraculous voyage from Calcutta to Boston.
I came here.
This is a short timeline of Srila Prabhupada's travels. After landing, like we said in the beginning of the slide, beginning of the presentation, this voyage was absolutely miraculous. This voyage changed the world. The world will never be before. Millions and millions of people all over the world, their lives were transformed from hippies to happies. The world, Prithivite Ache Jota Nagaradi Gram, Sarvata Prachara Hoibe Mora Naam. Prabhupada had the sincere desire of flooding the whole world with the holy names of Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The sincere desire of fulfilling the instructions of the spiritual master. And after that, what happened? Rest is history, as they say. This is a short timeline of Prabhupada's travels throughout 1965 and 1977. Mind. Prabhupada, when traveling to these places, was not simply traveling by himself. Simultaneously, he was translating the remaining volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and about 80 volumes of books full of transcendental literature, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, such and such. He was giving so many lectures, initiated 5,000 disciples, established 100 temples, farm communities, etc. throughout the world. What Prabhupada has done is unprecedented in the history of mankind. Just look at this. This map brings so much joy and inspiration to me. Just look at how, when every continent is being colored, you can imagine how it's being flooded and inundated with Krishna Prema. See India, see Australia. Australia is flooded with Krishna Prema. Fiji Islands flooded with Krishna Prema. Haribo! Canada flooded with Krishna Prema. Wherever Prabhupada is going, one ISKCON center is coming up. Wherever Prabhupada is going, thousands and thousands of devotees are chanting, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur. Everybody are surrendering to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Shri Krishna. See how Lord Chaitanya's mercy is being distributed throughout the world. This is so inspirational.
Absolutely, absolutely.
(1965 to 77), 12 times and 25 countries visited. Haribo. This is the journey of how Lord Shri Krishna's message traveled to the West. I would just like to conclude with one short video.
Telling me, I'm going to build a...
This is the cherry on top of the pudding. The takeaway message for all of us, coming straight from the mouth of Srimati Sumati Moraji.
In Vrindavan ashram. So I'm going to build a special place for you to stay. I said, okay. When you go, I'll come. But last he went from there. I know he sent me word.
Yes.
I'm going to Vrindavan now, and I don't think I'll come. He knew that he's going to go. I told him also we'll get doctor. He said, no, good. Very nice. As a man also, he was very nice. Very kind, very soft, very nice. The man has done so much. And what did he take? Nothing. And he has left behind such a big landmark. Not only religion, culture, everything, all over the world. So we must try to see that whatever he has done is kept. We can't increase, all right, but we must keep it. It must remain alive. That is what I feel.
This is the special instruction from Srimati Sumati Moraji ji, that the legacy of Srila Prabhupada must carry on. How will it carry on? It is up to each of us to study Srila Prabhupada's books, hear his lectures, follow his instructions, and distribute his mercy to one another. Right? So all of us should become ambassadors of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So on this very, very nice, auspicious and transcendental note, I would like to offer my prostrated, humble obeisances, respectful obeisances onto the divine lotus feet of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, all the Vartamana Guru Vrinda, all the Vaishnavas, Shri Guru Gauranga, Radha Madhav, and Lordships Panchatattva, so that all of them bless and shower their divine mercy on all of us, so that we also may be able to carry the message of Lord Shri Krishna within our hearts throughout, forever. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Wow. It's only the wow effect. Hare Krishna wow effect. Prabhupada wow effect. Vaishnava wow effect. Wonderful effort taken by you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. This video is dedicated to the
lotus feet of Prabhupada. The presentation is dedicated to the lotus feet of Prabhupada. If Prabhupada was not there, Prahlad Gurukul was not going to be there.
None of us would have been here. None of us would have been here.
None of us would have been here spending a Friday afternoon discussing transcendental topics. So behind every institution, there is a great personality. And behind ISKCON, the great personality is none other than Srila Prabhupada. Visvakalyana Prabhuji has taken so much of effort in trying to talk about the founder, the great founder.
It is not even a dust particle in comparison to what we just witnessed, the effort that Prabhupada has taken.
Absolutely. It takes more than a lifetime for us to glorify our Acharya, the greatest spiritual master. So, but today's class is like an eye-opener for all of us, including me, in terms of how this great personality has ordained so much of struggle in his life to bring. No pain, no gain is a very age-old saying. And if an institution of this size, this mammoth size, is in front of us, it's purely because of the dedication and hard work and faith that Srila Prabhupada had, which has manifested a beautiful institution called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. International Society for Krishna Consciousness is just not an institution. It is a transcendental center for all of us to take refuge, through the books. Srila Prabhupada has written so many books. My favorite is Bhagavad Gita as it is. The translation and the purports which he has given, I don't think any normal personality can give such a detailed explanation of every single verse of the entire 700 verses that are there in the Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your great efforts. I don't have words to express how much of gratitude that we need to have to Srila Prabhupada and his messengers, who are our spiritual masters, and all the Vaishnavas. Because end of day, what we are doing is to actually carry on the message of Prabhupada, trying to be Krishna conscious all the time. And through the process of Krishna consciousness, we are actually becoming a better human being. And even from a pure material sense, we have to be a good human being, right? So I think Prabhuji, you have really delivered the best message possible. So thank you so much. Sarvadita Mataji, Rasmai Mataji, Himavati Mataji, if you want to add something, please feel free to do that.
Just would like to beg forgiveness for any mistakes or shortcomings that might have been throughout the presentation, because I'm a fallen conditioned soul. Who am I to speak about the glories of such pure devotee? So please.
No, Prabhuji, you've done your best. And
okay, important question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you please answer this question? Pritika asks in chat, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is Srila Prabhupada an incarnation of the Lord himself?
He is an authorized representative. He is the flag bearer of Krishna consciousness. Like there are a lot of, suppose for example, if there's a great person, if there's a great personality, like for example the CEO of the organization, he has his favorite employees, right? So he will call one of his favorite employees, you go to this country and do business, you go to that country to do the business, you go to the state, you do this. So like that, Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu chooses his Senapatis. So Srila Prabhupada is an authorized Senapati who has come to this material world to propagate the aspects of Krishna consciousness. So he's an authorized Senapati.
Correct. So which means
Messenger.
he's a bona fide, yes, he's a messenger, he's a bona fide representative of Krishna.
Correct.
The spiritual master must be treated as good as God.
Correct.
He is as worshipable as God, but he is not God.
He is not God. Correct.
For us,
Absolutely.
he is godly, but
Yes.
not God.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's a very, very important question. Thank you so much for asking it. And thank you so much for answering it so wonderfully.
Very well, Guruji.
Is an empowered soul, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes.
Empowered soul. Absolutely.
Such personalities are called Shakti Avesh avatars.
Correct.
Means they are eternally liberated souls, but they come down to the material world to deliver on a specific purpose, on a specific mission, and that mission is Lord Sri Krishna's mission.
Prabhupada made mission impossible as mission possible.
Absolutely. Now it is our duty to continue that.
Absolutely. The legacy continues.
Absolutely.
The hard work has to continue.
Yes.
The parampara has to continue.
Absolutely.
It is a journey and not a destination.
Yes.
The journey without borders. We have to just carry on. We have to just keep going.
Yeah.
With enthusiasm.
Our destination is the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada.
Ultimate
Simply
destination.
surrender unto his lotus feet and attain all perfection in your life. Be blissful, and as Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Absolutely.
Hare Krishna. All
Hare
right,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Let me invite the other teachers. Any other teachers?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Visvakalyana Prabhu, for such a wonderful class. Actually, it was a treat to our eyes, ears, mind, soul, heart, everything. So, children, you saw how Prabhupada struggled to create an organization called ISKCON. So he struggled so much, not for his personal benefit. He struggled so much for us, for souls like us. So we should take maximum advantage of this, and we should try to progress in the Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, should try to progress in your spiritual life. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna. It was like seeing the Hare Krishna movie, I should say. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Maybe what we can do, Mataji, once the COVID issue all is resolved, maybe we can
Yes,
invite all the
Prabhu.
children for the Hare Krishna movie.
Yeah, I was
followed by
thinking
a-
about that.
Yeah, followed by a nice sumptuous prasadam.
Yeah,
So
we'll
we can,
distribute popcorn and
yeah,
everything, and we can
yes,
show this movie.
yes. Let us hope maybe within the next 5-6 months, if we can plan that. So thank you so much.
We will do that. We will do that only if everybody sincerely reads Prabhupada books, follows Prabhupada instructions, and chants Hare Krishna every day.
And attend Prahlad Gurukul classes without fail.
That goes without saying. 100% attendance.
Prabhu, I know some children in our Bhakti Vrisha who cried after seeing this Prabhupada Hare Krishna movie.
Even I cried, Mataji.
The person
Everybody
who
was
does,
crying, Prabhu.
whoever doesn't cry after watching is not a human being.
Yes.
I had two kerchiefs.
His heart
Secretly,
is a
I was
stone.
without revealing my joy. I was, trying to hide my tears. Hare Krishna. So, in the interest of time, let us conclude. Sarvadita Mataji and Rasamai Mataji, you have 30 seconds if you want to say something. If you don't have anything to say, you can wind up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, it's only tears from eyes. Because
Very well.
after hearing all these things, I'm feeling that I'm so insignificant. I'm doing nothing for Srila Prabhupada. That's the thing I felt.
All of us are in the
to
same
do
boat.
more
Let's
and
try
more.
to do
Yeah,
something.
really, Prabhuji.
Let's try to do
Yes.
something.
Yes, Prabhuji, really.
So thank you very much. Let's
Hari
chant
Bol,
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Bol.
Maha Mantra. Rasamai Mataji, you want to say something?
Nothing, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
No words. Hari Bol.
No words, yes, absolutely. So we will chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times for Visvakalyana Prabhuji for the beautiful efforts and for his spiritual progress.
And for all
then
of
we
you.
can do the Vaishnava Pranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Sai Gaura Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Have a very blissful weekend and week ahead. Bye bye. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.